Hey, bud.
Hey, we were just singing all your songs. This is the one I like to sing of yours the best. You ready for it?
Yeah.
There was this woman, and there was this man. We were going through your whole list here before we got you on, and I decided that was the one that I'd probably sing best in the shower. So I was feeling that. Amy, which one would you say was your favorite?
Oh, wait. Now that one's in my head. But what was the one we played after that?
What's it to you? Love is
Oh, talk to me, baby. Tell me what you're feeling. I know what love is. What's it to you?
Clay, we thought we'd just get you on and sing all your songs to you. How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, especially coming from my favorite celebrity. I mean, and even though you're from Arkansas, I mean, at least you made it to Texas.
Relax. Hey, listen, it's super cool for us to talk with one of my favorite guys, Clay Walker, who's on with us. Eddie, what was by the way, we got to put you in on this. If you were going to pick one of those to sing to Clay?
I think Amy took mine.
Okay.
Love is a rhythm.
Okay. Hey, Clay, I'm looking at you now. You're in a studio. Are you recording music right now?
I am. I've been writing with Jaron Boyer, great songwriter, written a bunch of hits for Jason Aldean, among others, and we got some great stuff. I can't wait for your whole group to kind of analyze it, and pick the hits.
We are playing your new song, Easy Going, as our Spotlight Artist Song of the Week here on the Countdown. And when I heard it, I was like, holy crap, this is such a good song. And so tell me about this song.
I wrote it with Adam Wheeler and Paul Sykes in Nashville, and just before he got quarantined, like the week before. And this is a song that to me is the ultimate woman. She walks away. She's not going to yell at this guy or anything. She just walks out. It's just total power. Total strength. And one of the harmonies to me sound just so nostalgic and have a great vibe to them. And it has all the good production elements that you want in a song, and fun to sing. It's going to be fun to sing it live.
On with us right now, Clay Walker. I was looking at, some of the old school tracks that I loved and grew up on. By the way, how do you like it when I say, like, I grew up listening to you? Does that make you feel good, or does it make you feel like, hey, shut up, man, I'm not that old?
It makes me feel great.
Okay.
No, it makes me feel great. I think you're supposed to get better, as time goes, and I'm always working on my vocal. I'm always trying to sing better. I'm always trying to perform better, and you kind of remind me of a younger me yourself. You do a little bit of everything, and you've pulled yourself up in your bootstraps. I mean, you and I have something in common that I didn't know about you, and that was my mom had me when she was 15. Your mom had you when she was 15. I said there aren't many guys that could say that. My mom's the greatest, And music for me was always a way that I saw myself being able to achieve, and just like radio, it still is for you. You pulled yourself up by your bootstraps. I mean, you've gone on to be, the most successful radio guy probably, in history, and you're doing much more than radio. But I'm glad you're still sticking with radio.
Well, Clay, I thought you were going to call me the sexiest man ever. I was about to take that. It was like, yeah, okay. Well, that's all right.
And George Strait gets that one.
Hey, let me ask you a couple questions about when you were first starting out. Because when I first started out, I would look up people and say, hey, give me a little bit of advice. When you first decided to head to Nashville, like, who did you hit up and go, how's this thing supposed to work for me?
Man, I just got in my car and drove overnight. I didn't have any money, so I couldn't afford to, have a hotel room. I set up in my car, I think right outside Arkansas, actually outside Little Rock. I'd never driven, past the Texas state line. I think I was about 17. And I came to Nashville and ran into a couple of guys. Doug Supernall was one of them. He had already had his career started, and he introduced me to Ron Baird, who was at Jim Halsey agency, and I didn't make it then. I got turned down by everybody, and I decided just to become a better singer, better songwriter, and performer, and started traveling around Texas. And then finally, James Stroud from Nashville passed through Beaumont, Texas one night, and I was playing at this club called the Neon Armadillo. He walked in and heard me sing, and he said, man, I'm James Stroud. I produced Clint Black and some other ones because I really like if you come to Nashville. So I came to Nashville in September of 1992. We recorded my first album, which I had written, and then in 1993 started trying to get some traction, and then I think it was August of '93. What's It to You came out, and that was it. It took off, and I never looked back. And just I love the music business. Love my life. Love being a singer. And it's great.
I want to play a little bit of What's It to You for the one person listening, maybe not even one, that's never heard the song or sang it at the top of their lungs. Here's a little bit of Clay Walker, What's It to You.
Love is a rhythm of two hearts beating, pounding out a message, steady and true.
Hey, Clay, I saw you smile when that song is still playing, so I'm assuming you're still down with playing that song.
Man, I always end the show with it. It still gets as big a reaction today as it did when it first came out, and it's great. What's really cool to me is to look out and see a mom, standing there with her daughter and singing. They're both singing every word to it, and I feel like there's, I was very young, and when I got signed, I think I was 22, and so, I still am young, and I feel great. But seeing a song like when you say you grew up listening to my music, I love that. I mean, I feel better than I've ever felt in my life, and I feel like I'm singing better than I've ever sang. And so, my goal now is to try to see how far we can push it above the bar that we've already set, and people like yourself who love and passionate about music. I can't tell you how good that makes me feel that you grew up listening to me, and sounds like you're still listening to me.
Yeah, are you kidding? Yeah. And then when I heard your new song, I was like, holy crap, this is still so good. That's why I wanted to feature you not only on the radio show, but also on the National Countdown. So, man, well, listen.
Wow, thank you.
So good to talk to you. Let me geek out a couple more times because I don't get to talk. We text a little bit, but we don't get to talk on the phone a whole lot. But I like to geek out if you don't mind. You okay with that for a second? Okay.
By all means.
All right. I'm going to play This Woman and This Man, a little bit of this song, and I want you to tell me what this makes you think of, like when you go back in your memory box in your head.
Like there was this woman, and there was this man.
This is my jam right here, Clay. Tell me, what do you think about right here?
Houston Livestock Show Rodeo sold out, about 70,000 fans going crazy, and just doing that song, and they're all singing it.
Man, okay, let's do another one. Let's do If I Can Make a Living, because it's jam too. Here we go.
If I could make a living out of loving you, I'd be a millionaire.
All right, tell me about this one, Clay.
That reminds me, Alan Jackson wrote that song. He didn't record it. I did, and thank you, Alan.
So, Alan wrote it. I'm assuming he wrote it for him, and then it didn't make a record, and so he pitched it to you. How'd that work?
Yes, that's what happened. And I said, no, you missed one. And that was the first song off of my second album. And it was a number one hit and one of the greatest songs ever, 1 minute and 56 seconds long. And
wow.
So radio said, this song is so short. And I just said, play it twice.
Dang, Clay Walker's on with us. I know your first name is Ernest. Was there ever talk of you going by Ernest Walker?
Well, my dad, I'm a junior. So my dad's Ernest. His dad was Ernest. And, my grandmother called me Clayboy. And so, my mom and my grandma, my grandmother practically raised me. And I hated that they would call me Clayboy. And, it was off some show way back, and I forget what the name of the show was. Spencer's Mountain. The boy's name is Clayboy. So they called me Clayboy, and it drove me crazy, and everybody called me, and then I just shortened it to Clay.
So that's where it came from.
That's it. Yeah.
Wow. A Spencer's Mountain. I'm looking at it here. 1963 American family drama written by Delmer Daves. No idea. I just pulled it up on Wikipedia. Yeah, no idea. I just watched, speaking of old movies, I just watched Oklahoma, the musical, for the first time. You ever seen that, Clay?
No, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Well, my girlfriend's from Oklahoma, and I watched it. It's actually pretty good. It's 1955. It's pretty good. Well, on with us now is Clay Walker. You can follow him on Instagram, official Clay Walker, on Twitter, @Clay Walker. Eddie, is there anything you'd like to ask Clay while we have him here? I know you're also a massive fan, and I'm going to give you a shot here. One question, Eddie. Come on, bring it.
I want to know, my question for a lot of these guys from, the 90s is, do you still get recognized at the store or on the street?
Yeah, it's. I guess a lot of times when people will come up to me and say, I don't mean to bother you, or they're like this, and I just look at them and I go, do you get that with other celebrities? Do they act like that? Because that's why you want to become a celebrity, or a singer or a star. You want to reach out and touch people, and yeah, I do get recognized, and it's odd. It's in certain places, and somebody notices you, and then everybody does, or nobody notices you at all. And but yeah, it's flattering, and a big just flattering. I feel so humbled and gracious, and honestly, to come on this show, I've been really excited, this whole week, because I knew I was going to get to come on there, and Bobby, you and I had met at the ACMs a few years back, and we just exchanged, just 30 seconds worth of dialogue, and I've been a fan of yours ever since. I've followed you, and just really proud of what you've been able to accomplish. I know how hard it is, and this is a tough business, and you got a lot of friends when you get there, but very few on the way up, and very few coming down. So enjoy it. I think you're going to be around a long time, man, and I'm still a big fan.
I appreciate that, Clay. Amy, I'm going to give you one final question for Clay Walker on the phone with us right now. What would you like to ask Clay?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Anything, Amy. The world is open to you.
No.
Go ahead.
Why are you putting this pressure on me when
the last
I
question.
feel like
We've been waiting for this all week. Go ahead.
once we went down memory lane. Well, maybe one day can you come play for us? Oh, wait, I can't. Bobby, I can't. I was about to invite him
You
to
can
come
book
play
it,
for us
sure.
live just so I can meet him.
If he comes to town after a Corona,
If you
over.
okay, would you come and play for us live in the studio one day?
100%.
There he
I would be honored to.
There he
Okay.
is.
I'd be
There
honored.
he
If
is.
you guys could sing along with me a little bit.
Oh,
Yes. Well, if
we'd have
Bobby
to do two.
allows
We'd
it.
have to do two versions, Clay, because our listeners don't like it when we sing along. But we'd have to do
Right.
like a sing along version and then the version. So,
Yeah.
Clay Walker on with us. Clay, when do you can check out Easy Going right now, his new song. But you say you're making more music. When do we expect a bigger project, the whole project?
It's coming right behind it. I mean, like immediately. We're in here doing vocals today on 2 songs. So we'll have 5 songs coming out in a row. Very 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 quickly. And but I promise you, nobody will hear them before you do.
Clay, we love you, man. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon, my friend.
Thank you, brother, so much.
All right, there
Y'all
he
have
is.
a great day.
Clay Walker, everybody. Clap him now. See you, Clay. Good to see you, man.
Bobby Bones Show.